Do you want your event materials to stand out and stay consistent across every platform? Yes you do, because that is the goal. Let's talk about how to design sleek, on-brand assets fast using Adobe Express, the quick and easy create anything app. Whether you're designing for digital or print, Adobe Express has all the tools you need to get started promoting your event, and the first is using Apply Brand to get everything matching nicely. Before we can actually apply our brand, we need to make sure that we have our brand kit set up. So to do this, navigate to the menu on the left, select Brands, Create Brand, and add in any assets you have for your event like logos, color schemes, fonts, etc. Then you can start by applying your brand to your design templates with just one click. Select your chosen template and then navigate to the menu on the left and hit Apply Brand. This will help you save a ton of time. You can actually leverage Resize tools here to adapt your design for different platforms like social posts, flyers, event banners, name tags, etc. So to resize this Instagram post into a flyer, all you really need to do is, with that design open, navigate to the menu on the top, click Resize, find the size you want to resize into, select Duplicate and Resize, and this will make a copy of our design instead of just replacing our Instagram post. Then we can use all the tools on the left to adjust our design work for print. If you want to see both of these assets, you can come up to Pages on the top. Something I love to do when I'm designing, especially working with a team, is using the Lock Elements feature to prevent accidental shifting of key design elements, and this is really helpful when you are collaborating or batch creating assets, so only the things that you want to change are available to edit. To do this, you can simply right-click on the design element you want to lock and select Lock, or you can click on the element, come up here and select the 3 dots and hit lock. And you can repeat the process to unlock the element. Making things for print can feel a bit overwhelming because it feels so permanent. And if we don't have a background in print design, like, what do? It's a little bit more than just sending it to the printer. So here's a quick checklist to save you any headaches while you're printing your event promotional materials. First is you want to double check bleed settings and margins. This is going to help ensure that none of the important information on your print materials, like logos or images or text, are getting cut off when printing. So for margins, or the space around the edge between the cut piece and your content, I like to leave about 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch around the edge of my design, kind of like as a safe area. And for bleeds, or what goes off the edges of the page that gets cut, like a background color or a full-size photo, when you're exporting, you're going to want to select bleed and crop marks. If we don't do this, there's a real chance that we could get a white border around that print, and that is not going to look very good. So we want to make sure our background color or image goes beyond the edge of the page. And the crop marks tells the printer to cut the design there, making a nice, what we call, full bleed background. Make sure your file is set up properly for print, and any images that you're using are high resolution so they don't come out blurry or pixelated once this is printed. If you find that your images are coming in like really small and you're having to scale them up a ton, this is probably a pretty good sign that your image quality isn't good enough for the size that you're printing. And the only way to fix this is by getting a higher resolution image or replacing it with something better quality. Once your image doesn't have resolution, you cannot add it back in. You need to go to the original source and find the highest quality you can. So to export in a print-friendly format, we're going to want to choose PDF for print, or we could send this directly to the printer from Adobe Express. For digital-only assets, try using some simple animations to make your design stand out. This can really help easily make your materials look a little bit more dynamic, or maybe a bit more interesting, and repeating that same animation style across different materials can aid in consistency. Easy does it on those too. You want to make sure that whatever animations that you're adding still match your brand and voice. So if you're a very serious brand and you have a quirky animation, that doesn't really work well together. Here we have an Instagram story ad. We can animate some of this text by navigating to the animation tab on the left and exploring these parameters to create something that we like. If that feels really overwhelming, we can instead search for an animation template, apply your brand, and then adjust the messaging to match your voice. And this is really great if we're stumped on what types of animations to do or how to make it look good, especially if it's our first time creating this type of content. Another thing we can do is have a web page or landing page for our event, and that can really help streamline all of that information into one place. So instead of having scattered links in the wind, we can build a branded event webpage in Adobe Express by navigating to the plus icon, selecting web page, and then we can choose something like event microsite, choose a template, and then customize that design to match your event branding. And we actually made a full video on how to make a web page in Adobe Express. We'll leave it in the description box below. So before you hit publish on all your event promotions or send anything to the printer, you're gonna wanna make sure to review everything to make sure that things are accurate. Okay, so here is a little final review checklist. As you're kind of finishing up your event promos, double check event details like times, dates, and spelling. Make sure you get the time and date right. You want to make sure that all of those materials match by using the same fonts, colors, and images. Implement any of those hashtags, call to actions, or key messaging that you want to get across. And if you're working with a team, you can collaborate with them for feedback in Adobe Express by using review tools, by navigating up to the icons on the right, inviting your team, and then adding feedback. So start designing smarter, not harder. Use these hacks and get event materials polished and out the door fast with Adobe Express.